So in a way, you don't have any, even though you're a Christian, you don't have any kind of superior God believing, because you say that you dig very deep when you say that in the depths they're all the same, and in that way you almost say that, well, this is kind of a guideline to understand the world we live in. Actually, not something superior religious, but just a way of thinking about each other and a way of finding your path in life. So
you mean religion is a guideline, right?
Yeah. So
religion.
Yeah. So the religion ain't superior like some God, but it's just a guideline. How do you say that?
A guideline would be kind of a weak way to say it. Guideline. It's much stronger than guideline. Each of us to live needs a story to live in. It needs a framework to explain life. And same life can be explained with different words, and it can be truly so. So if you would give an account, you give a story about somebody you know, and I know 10 other people, they would give me a completely different story, but they will all be true in a way, because there's a relationship. For a guideline or for religion to work, you need to think it's best, right? Because if you don't think it's best, you will not commit yourself. You don't have to. You will come to a point where you will not compare it anymore and say, mine is better than yours. That's like a first step, to think it's best. But then, if you are in it, you stop being obsessed with what's best. But what's real, it's more important. What's true, what's real, what's authentic. So what I'm saying is, so for me, for example, when I meet a Muslim person or a Buddhist, I was once talking to rabbis in a rabbinical school, and I asked them the same thing. And I asked them, what would you, if somebody comes to you and tells you, you are so Christ-like. Word Christ-like is a very American word. Christ-like means evangelical kind of thing. Like, you are a good person, like Jesus was good. Okay? Now, Jewish person can say, please don't colonize my religion with yours. Okay? I am not Christ-like. I don't believe in that, so don't put Christianity into my faith, by paying me a compliment. Okay? Or they can say, thank you. So that's the choice. I don't know if in their shoes I would say thank you, because there's only 12 million Jews and there's 2.5 billion Christians. So imagine if you are like this small and this group is this big and they're trying to get you to become a Christian. It's very, very difficult. Because we're Christians, it's easy, because there's a lot of us. But what I need to have is to have a coherent view of reality. So if a Muslim tells me, oh, you are a true Muslim, I don't tell them, no, I'm not a Muslim. What they mean to say, the way I see life and the way I see how the world works and what's really good, you fulfilled that, and I'm paying you a compliment. So we need to have a compassion for each other, that we need to think that ours is the best. So I don't have a problem if somebody says, I think my religion is the best. Of course you think it's the best, otherwise you wouldn't do it, right? Otherwise it has to sustain you, you have to sacrifice, you have to get up in the morning regularly and meditate. You are not going to do that if you think there's a way to do it without getting up. Things like that.
So you can go a step further. Because maybe you have heard about this cartoon crisis in Denmark, where someone was drawing pictures of the Prophet Muhammad just to show Muslim people how wrong their religion was. What do you mean about it?
Okay, yeah.
Nej, Lars, det var ikke det, jeg gjorde. Han ville ikke beskrive vores forkert. No, he was trying to illustrate.
But Jyllandsposten, the paper was saying, this is to learn Muslim people to, I don't know, tåle hån, og det stod direkte i teksten, hvad hedder det på engelsk? Lære muslimer at tåle hån og spot.
Yeah, to stand
spot? Do you know?
I don't understand what you were saying.
I'm pretty sure he illustrated the Western way of, you know, the Western view on Muslims exactly. You know, the what do you call it? The prejudice towards. He illustrated their prejudice towards Muslims. Muslim faith.
Yeah, but the paper said this is to learn Muslim people to
yeah. Also
the paper asked them. Yeah. And
okay.
Something about speech of freedom. Freedom.
Oh, okay.
But because how much do you have to respect?
From our perspective here, you know, we were not in the center of this like you were. I mean, this has opened a whole new thing for you, and in some way that's a good thing. It's a blessing because you start conversation about that. And now in Switzerland, you know, with minarets and all of that kind of thing, and what's happening with Muslims. My belief is that. The reaction of, first of all, the reaction of Muslims who are violent to being offended is, I don't know any Muslims of my friends here who do not judge that and are not disgusted by it. I don't know any, not one. Okay, so their problem is, if these people who are violently responding to these cartoons have one bullet in their gun, and they come to me, and a moderate Muslim, and I think, or come to somebody who really hates Islam and it says, you're all idiots, you know, that Muslim who is fundamentalist will spend that one bullet on a moderate Muslim, not on me. Okay, so we cannot say, well, why don't they speak up? Well, because they have a gun here and you don't, okay? So don't, how would I say, we cannot judge what we don't understand. Okay, so that's one thing. Second is that that speaking up and mocking is two different things. If somebody says, I think your father raped your sister, okay? It's my right of speech. Or if I say, when did your father stop raping you? Tell me, did he stop raping you or not? Okay, you would be offended, right? Perhaps you would slam that person, right? There is a point where in human interaction, there needs to be a respect for other people's sacred things, and not everything in this world is a source for consumption and ridiculing and mocking and making fun and stimulation of our senses, okay? There are some things that you should not touch in another person, not only physically, but conceptually. At the same time, there's also space for humor. There is a way to make fun of Islam, but you need to think more. You know, there is a way to make fun of Christianity in which somebody will make fun of it, and I'll say, thank you, that was good. That's really funny. And it will be funny, and I'll say, thank you. It's a form of grace, because I know that what I live is incongruent. And it's not matching, and humor is a way we deal with incongruencies in life, right? Things that don't match, that are off, and then you laugh about it. There is a way to do it, but there's a way not to do it. If somebody would publish, if in a Muslim country they would put in the papers that Jesus was that he was like abusing children, let's say, okay? We would not like go there and kill anybody, you know, but we would be upset. Christians would be upset. Let's say, not even that. Take somebody who's an atheist. You know, anything that we perceive like that. So I would say, you know, those are just kind of thoughts about that. So it goes both ways, and it's one community. There's plenty of people in Islam who are fighting for transition and reformation and renaissance in Islam. Islam is about 600 years behind in development of religion. And they are about probably where we were when we were killing thousands and millions of people in wars in Europe, you know? You know, the 30-year war and Inquisition and Crusades and all of that. So I think what's going on in Islam is really not between Islam and the West. It's going within Islam. And we are just around part of that